New crew, if you're new, my name is Cassandra. I love once a month grocery shopping, but I also love growing and preserving my own foods, whether that means I'm actually growing them here on our modern homestead type thing, or I'm locally sourcing things, getting them from farmers, or just trading with neighbors and family and friends for their abundance versus our abundance, and making sure that everybody gets what they need, hope, and desire for when it comes to thinking about the idea of seasonal shopping versus pantry shopping. For seasonal shopping, these are things like shopping in season, using what's in season, whether that means we are shopping for them, buying them from the grocery store, farmers markets, or coming out of the garden, versus relying on our back stock of a pantry. What do I think is better? I get questions like that very often, so I figured today let's make a video all about that. And short answer, I think the best solution is a variety of both. I think using seasonal shopping to be able to build your pantry is just the best way to go. It's super economical, and I think it's the quickest, cheapest, and easiest way to build your food storage really stress-free. I do this a couple of ways. Let's hop into the first way I try to do this. The first way I think is the most obvious, and that is with fruits and vegetables, shopping in season for what is happening here. A really prime example of that I have on my shelf behind me is all of my cranberry products. This is a sangria mix that I made with cranberries that I bought around the holidays that are on sale. Cranberries are always the cheapest right around the holidays. I will buy a year's worth of cranberries at a time and make my cranberry products. This is for my family, cranberry juice. This is sangria mix. I gave these away as Christmas gifts, kept a couple for myself. We have been enjoying these. We like them upon occasion. Another example of that could be cranberry sauce, or another product that I have on my shelf, cranberry apple sauce. This is a mixture of cranberries and just apples. Apples are from my grandma's apple trees, cranberries are from the store, and these are two ways that I will shop for seasonal products, but also mixing in seasonal products that we get from the homestead or family and friends to build my food storage. I will get a year's worth at a time, preserve them, get them up on the shelf, and that way I have them fresh for when they're actually fresh and in season, but also stored up on my food storage for when they're not in season, and when we're craving these things or wanting these things, we can go ahead and pull them off of the shelf and we have them for a year's worth. You don't always have to preserve them this way. My freezers are also full of vegetables that I blanch and freeze, but also berries that we pick as they're in season and get into the freezers for long-term storage. We will enjoy what we can fresh. Whatever we have abundance of, we will blanch, freeze, put in the freezers, or get into jars. And I think that's the most obvious way, is shopping seasonally, using what's coming out of the garden for those seasonal items. But there are also some other seasonal sales that I don't think are quite as obvious that I will also utilize to build my food storage and fill my freezers for shopping seasonally, but also building up that long-term storage. So let's talk about way number two. Second way I love to shop seasonally but also build my long-term food storage is through holiday sales. So around every holiday there will be seasonal products that go on sale or that just drop in price, and I love to take advantage of those. Some of those, for example, would be like the 4th of July, Memorial Day weekend, Labor Day weekend. A lot of pre-pressed burger patties will go on sale, hot dogs, any type of sausages, brats, they'll all go on sale. I can buy those things at the lowest price and fill my freezers quite for a year's worth. That might be over exaggerating for some people, myself included. I'm not always looking to build a year's worth, but I do like to grab things that are at the lowest price, put them in my freezer, and we will have them for a couple of months to be able to enjoy them when normally they would be at a higher price. Another example of this is around the holidays, Thanksgiving time. I will always buy extra turkeys, get those in my freezer, extra hams if I find a really good price and we don't have a lot of our local pork left filled in the freezer. That's a great time to do it. Easter hams are always a good sale as well, and that's just a way where, just a couple of examples, I'll grab some of those things, get them in the freezer, or for our turkey and things, sometimes they end up in jars. For the course of the winter, I canned a turkey that I got on sale after Thanksgiving. This is turkey pot pie filling, turkey peas, some of our homegrown potatoes and onions, and I would pair this with some of our maybe canned carrots and canned celery. Put all of that into a pie crust, and it's a really easy meal. If I wanted to, I could also just throw this, maybe 1 or 2 jars, into a soup pot with extra chicken stock and make a turkey pot pie style soup or something. Easy, great. There are options here. Another thing I did with a turkey this past year was something totally new for me. This was new as well. I had never canned a meal in a jar, but I took that turkey, deboned it, put it through our meat grinder with apples and shallots with some spices, and I made a breakfast style turkey sausage. Really great. We've been really enjoying that. I got, I think, 8 pounds, give or take maybe 10 pounds of turkey sausage. I was able to go in the freezer as well as breakfast sausage, which was really exciting. Just something new for me to kind of try and get some new skills under my belt. But that's just an example of how I will take seasonal products, seasonal sales, and take those things to fill freezers, jars, pantry, all of the things, just depending on kind of what our needs are at that time and what our wants are for that time. So just another example on how that works. Last example for today, I actually still have right here in my Walmart bags. We're still taking advantage of these seasonal sales, and one of my favorite ones is back to school time. So around this time of year, certain convenience type items will go on sale because all of those college kids are going to college for the first time. So they're easy dorm food or like sorority house foods. All these kids that don't really know how to cook or aren't used to having to cook for themselves, all of these really easy things go on sale. The price plummets. I'm going to share with you guys a couple things that I actually take advantage of myself for convenience items, easy things to just stock my shelf, because it's not always things that we have to can or do anything with to blanch, freeze. Sometimes it's just those convenience things, those boxed items, those canned items that we can buy at a lower price and build our food storage as well. That isn't all of this, because I know this isn't everybody's cup of tea or everybody's wants. Not everybody wants to preserve all of the things, and that's totally fine if that's not you. But this would be something that you could take advantage of as well to build kind of like a store-bought food storage that we have kind of over yonder here. So I'm going to pull out some of these items out of these bags to show you guys some things that I take advantage of in real time right now. You could take advantage of as well, because this seasonal sale should be going on through like September-ish, and I do these every year. So let's go ahead and hop. The thing that I will take advantage of every single year are their hamburger helpers. We buy our ground beef in bulk. I have 2 freezers right now that are just chock full of ground beef, and I will buy a couple hamburger helpers. I have 4 here. We don't eat these all the time. We don't really like absolutely love them, but because we have a lot of bulk ground beef, they are sometimes super convenient to just pull out, have something super easy and ready to go. And I will buy a couple different varieties here. So I have 4 hamburger helpers, 4 different varieties, and these are just super convenient for us to be able to pull out in a pinch. My family can still eat something. I can even pull, if I'm like super in a pinch, I could grab some cooked ground beef that I have canned up here, some bear meat or something, get that in here with maybe like some canned carrots or canned green beans or something, and have dinner ready to go in like 20 minutes, which sometimes is a other thing that I really like to do with it being back to school time is buy a bunch of pre-made muffin mixes. I do have some pre-made cookie dough jars down here. Over the winter, it was my goal to get some pre-made muffin mixes on the shelf. It just didn't happen. That'll probably happen this fall after the garden slows down a little bit. But in the meantime, I buy some of these little Martha White packets. The kids use these to make waffles in the morning. We also use them to make muffins, but I'll also buy like boxed muffin mixes. But right now, specifically in my area, these bags are on sale. So I got 5 of these wild berry. I also got 5 chocolate chips, and I will get them on the storage shelf, have them for when I want them, need them, and taking advantage of that sale. buying a ton now, getting them on the shelf, and having them for when I want them. For example of this are canned items. I bought 12 cans of mini beef raviolis. I also bought, I think, 12 cans of tomato soup that we really like. All those canned items go on sale, those convenience type meals. Really easy for the dorm lifers, but they're also super convenient for me. A couple times a year we have had multiple day power outages the last 2 years, and I have learned that having things like this on the shelf during the power outages are really nice. We do have generators, we have ways to like keep our home up and running for those times, but it's also really nice to have something to just dump out of a can and heat up and not have to worry about like cooking if I don't want to, don't have to. That's where some of these convenience meals came in, some of the ground beef and whatnot, just to make my life a little bit easier. But I bought 12 of these. These are less than $1 a can right now. I think they're 98 cents a can, which is actually cheaper than Aldi in my area. So I bought 12 of these. I will use these. I do also put these in kids' lunch boxes during the school year upon occasion. So lots of uses here, but buying them when they're cheapest, getting a ton of cans on my shelf. So basically for $12, I got 12 meals. Last thing I have to show you guys are actually these tuna packets. These are also on sale right now. In my Walmart, these were 49 cents a package. Normally they're $1 a package, so basically got them 50% off. I will stock up on a ton of these. My favorite is sweet and spicy. I bought 12 of these in different varieties. I will put them on the storage shelf. These make really quick lunches for me. Also for my husband as well. He can just throw these in his lunchbox. They're good to go with like a sleeve of crackers or something, a little bit of cottage cheese or some mayo or something, tuna sandwiches, some hard-boiled eggs, whatever. But once again, during the power outages, these are really nice, but also just for day-to-day living, I like to have these. So I stock up on them when they are the cheapest. That is kind of my take on the whole seasonal versus stocked pantry, cooking, shopping, living. Use the two to your advantage. Work together to use seasonal items, seasonal sales to build your long-term food storage. That's the way I like to do things. I know it might not be for everybody, but that's how I do things here for our large family of 7. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Let me know down below what are your favorite seasonal shopping items. I always love to hear what other people's suggestions are. Maybe what are some of your favorite canned items that you've done this year adding to your shelf. I love to hear other people's items because it gives me ideas for my own canning pantry. I hope wherever you guys are, you're having a fantastic day, and I will catch you guys in another one.